Hi there, this is the second part of the 6.11 video, and we were working on completing the tension in the Middle East sheet, so we will continue to work on that and get that finished up. Okay, so our next question, on to Iran, and what kind of government does Iran have? What does this mean? And I'm just going to go off the lesson answer key. We'll use the answers, and then we'll go back and try to find where they found those answers, kind of doing it backwards. Okay, so it says that the theocracy, a theocratic republic. As a republic, Iran does have elections, but the government is subject to religious authority. So let's go to Iran in the, this is Department of State, but I want to go back to the world facts. So let's go back a little here. And we need to go back to the original map and go to the Middle East and find Iran. And we were looking for government. And it has here government type theocratic republic. Okay, the next question on there. To what ethnic, language, and religious groups do the majority of Iranians belong? It says 61% are Persian, 53% speak Persian, 99% are Muslim, and most are Shia Muslim. So if we go back to here, and we look at people and society, we will see the ethnic group breakdown. Persian 61%, official language is Persian, and religions Muslim is the largest at 99.4, with, like it says, the Shia 90 to 95%. Okay, then we'll go back to the sheet again. What does Iran promote? Private, free enterprise, or government-controlled prices and production? Okay, so that sounds like an economy type question. So let's go to economy. And we skim through. Iran's economy is marked by statist policies, inefficiencies, and reliance on oil and gas exports. But Iran also possesses significant agricultural, industrial, and service sectors. The Iranian government directly owns and operates hundreds of state-owned enterprises and indirectly controls many companies affiliated with the country's security forces. Okay. So if we go back to our sheet, it promotes government-controlled prices and production. As it said there in the reading, the government controls the majority of the industry. Now let's go into Iraq. What are two major ethnic groups in Iraq? So now we need to go back again. Oh, I can just go here. This would maybe be a little faster than clicking on the map. Iraq, where are you? There it is. And we want to look at ethnic groups of people in society. It says ethnic groups, Arab 75 to 80%. The official language is Arabic. The official religion is Muslim with 99%. All right, let's go back to our sheet. And the Iraqi population is made up of 20 million Arabs, with 60% are Shiite Muslims, 5% are Sunni Muslims, and 3% are Christians. There are about 4 million Kurds who are non-Arab Muslim. And if we go look at that, here we go. Arab ethnic groups is the main one, Kurdish 15 to 20%. And as it says, Kurdish is also another official language. Okay. Now let's go back to our sheet. Go online to state.gov to describe the situation in Iraq since 2004. Okay, so we need to go Iraq. I have it on Iran right now. Let's try to find Iran. Or no. What are we on again? Is it Iran? Iraq. Sorry. Iraq. Okay, so we're going to go here. And U.S. bilateral relations fact sheet is what I think we should look at. U.S.-Iraqi relations. The U.S. mission in Iraq remains dedicated to building a strategic partnership with Iraq and Iraqi people. The December 2011 departure of U.S. troops from Iraq marked a milestone in our relationship as Iraq continues to develop as a as a sovereign, stable, and self-reliant country. Iraq is now a key partner for the U.S. in the region, as well as the voice of moderation and democracy in the Middle East. Iraq has functioning government institutions, including an active legislature, is playing an increasingly constructive role in the region, and has a bright economic future as oil revenues surpass pre-Saddam production levels with continued rapid growth to come. The U.S. maintains vigorous and broad engagement with Iraq on diplomatic, political, economic, and security issues in accordance with the U.S.-Iraq Strategic Framework Agreement. Then it goes on to explain what the Strategic Framework Agreement is. And more about the U.S. assistance to Iraq. So if we go to our sheet, and it doesn't, okay, we haven't gotten to the since 2014 section. Well, let's see. Oh, this was 2012. Let's see. U.S. Ambassador to Iraq, perhaps? Is that where we'll find it? No, it just says who he is. Okay. Well, we could dig around a little bit more to try to find this. However, because time is of the essence, and the situation in Iraq since 2014, it's important to protect the Kurds and Shiites from Iraqi warplanes. Some of the Kurds are an ethnic minority, and they've been targeted quite a bit in Iraq, and the Shiites as well, and try to protect them from the Iraqi warplanes. Jordan. What impact have the wars between the Arabs and Israelis and the civil conflicts in Iraq and Syria had on Jordan? So, back we go. Now we need to go find Jordan. All right, so we're going to go back to the Middle East. Then we need to find Jordan. Okay. And people and society. All right, is this going to tell us much that we're looking for? No, just various facts there. Introduction, perhaps? Goes through some history. The most recent information they have is January 2014, Jordan assumed a non-permanent seat in the UN Security Council. Okay, that's not what we needed. Transnational issues, perhaps? No. Communications, I doubt if it's there. No. Military? No. All right, let's go back. Jordan has become the home of a very large number of Palestinian refugees. Large numbers of people had fled conflicts in Iraq and Syria as well and moved into Jordan. And if you look at the geography of where Jordan is, you can see why. It's because it's both near all those countries that are having those conflicts. And then lastly, describe Syria's civil unrest between 2001 and 2014 under the rule of Bashar al-Assad. Okay, so we're going to go to Syria now. All right, so Syria with an S. Here's Syria. And we can look at perhaps, what was the question? Civil unrest. Introduction perhaps. All right. I'm trying to just skim through. All right, starting right here. In May 2007, Bashar al-Assad's second term as president was approved by a popular referendum. Influenced by major uprisings that began elsewhere in the region, anti-government protests broke out in the southern province, with protesters calling for the repeal of the restrictive emergency law arrest without charge, the legalization of political parties, and the removal of corrupt local officials. Continuing and reading more, I'm just kind of skimming through. However, the government's response has failed to meet opposition demands for Assad resignation. The government's ongoing violence to quell unrest and widespread armed opposition activities led to extended clashes between the government forces and oppositionists. International pressure on the Assad regime has intensified since late 2001 as the Arab League, European Union, Turkey, and the United States expanded economic sanctions against the region. In December 2012, the National Coalition of Syrian Revolution and Opposition Forces, commonly referred to as the Syrian National Coalition, was recognized by more than 130 countries as a sole legitimate representative of the Syrian people. And lastly here, as of 2015, the conflict has displaced 1.6 million people, including 7.6 million internally, making the situation in Syria the largest humanitarian crisis worldwide. Okay, so we kind of see that represented here in this answer on the answer key. Protesters called for the repeal of restrictions that add to political corruption. Sanctions were imposed, and Assad still remains in power. And violence continues. Okay, so that wraps up the tension in the Middle East sheet. Now, if we go back to our lesson, you just have to complete the 6.11 quiz, and you will have questions about this lesson on the quiz, so be sure you're familiar with the geography and some of the major issues facing these countries. Review your tension to the Middle East sheet, and then also go through the maybe go through the map activity again, and not this, well, this one, of course, to know where some of these locations are, but then also the next slide where it goes through, you put your cursor over the plus to read a little bit more about those countries. So good luck on your quiz, everyone. Do your best.